For a moment in the late 80s and early 90s, Milli Vanilli were on top of the world. And what a long way to fall. In the aftermath of a very public scandal, the band's success story came to a screeching halt. Here's what happened to Milli Vanilli. In 1989, Milli Vanilli's Rob Pilatus and Fab Morvan became instant pop superstars in America. Their debut album in the States, Girl You Know It's True, ultimately yielded 5 smash singles. Then, in 1990, the band won the Grammy Award for Best New Artist. But soon enough, the jig was up, and the world discovered that Rob and Fab hadn't actually sung on the album. The problems began as early as July 1989. During a disastrous MTV performance, it was quite clear that Rob and Fab were lip-syncing because the backing track started to skip.
Stop, girl, you know it's girl, you know it's girl. 80,000 people, girl, you know it's girl, you know. I couldn't repeat it 15 times.
In November 1990, Milli Vanilli's manager Frank Farian finally came clean at a press conference. As history reports, he had fraudulently put the names and faces of Rob Pilatus and Fab Morvan on the dance records he was creating in his studio using less aesthetically gifted real musicians. In the wake of the scandal, Rob and Fab were ordered to hand over their Grammy. All the while, they maintained that they'd been duped by Farian.
We couldn't break out of our contract. Just the producer can stop the contract.
Here's how Rob Pilatus described his life prior to meeting Farian, according to the New York Times. We were living together in the projects with 2 other musicians in Munich. We had nothing to eat and we were unhappy. We wanted to be stars, and suddenly this guy gave us a chance and we took it. 1 month after confessing the truth, Frank Farian tried making Milli Vanilli a thing again. He boldly reformed the group, but without Rob or Fab. This time around, 2 of the musicians who actually sang on the Milli Vanilli tunes were front and center, Brad Howell and John Davis. Believe it or not, Farian named this version of the group The Real Milli Vanilli. The band released an album overseas with the unforgivable title, The Moment of Truth. The Real Milli Vanilli was given a new, impossibly cheesy name in America, Try and Be. But the public didn't care either way, and the band only lasted for 1 album. Despite the scandal, Rob and Fab weren't ready to give up the spotlight. In 1991, they parodied themselves in a gum commercial that asked the burning question, how long will the flavor of carefree sugarless bubblegum last?
So these guys sing for themselves. Carefree sugarless bubblegum. The flavor lasts.
Rob and Fab eventually returned to the recording studio, ditching the Milli Vanilli moniker altogether. And this time they used their real singing voices. In 1992, they performed a new single on the Arsenio Hall show, and they sounded pretty good, actually.
Why didn't you sing in the first place, man? You can sing.
First, I want to say to the audience that we don't want to blame or point the finger at anybody.
In 1993, they released the self-titled album Rob and Fab. According to CBC Music, the record sold roughly 2,000 copies in the US. Rob Pilatus had a hard time grappling with life after the scandal. In a 2018 interview with the BBC, Fab opened up about how all the stress had taken a toll on them.
So you had to internalize the whole thing, and the only way to do that was to either drink alcohol or do drugs.
Sadly, Rob's struggle with addiction continued to snowball. In December 1991, he had to be talked down from a 9th-story balcony by police.
It was at this hotel in Los Angeles early Saturday morning that police found him ready to take his life.
According to The Independent, in 1996, he was sentenced to 3 months in jail and 6 months at a drug treatment facility in California after he beat up a man with a metal lamp base, assaulted another person, and broke into a car. Fab and Rob's friendship had fallen into disrepair by 1997. As Fab explained to People, "We have no relationship at this point. I got sober. I am going my own way." Sadly, Rob's downward spiral continued, and he died of an accidental overdose in 1998 at the age of 33.
It was like losing a part of myself.
If you or anyone you know is having suicidal thoughts, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. In 2003, Fab released his first solo album, Love Revolution, which included a heartfelt acoustic tribute to Rob Pilatus called It's Your Life. More recently, he joined forces with one of the original Milli Vanilli vocalists, John Davis. They performed together at the Sylvester 2015 party in Berlin for a clearly enthusiastic crowd. Fab still plays the occasional solo show, breathing new life into those old Milli Vanilli tunes. And in 2016, he starred in another memorable commercial, this time as part of KFC's Being Real campaign. For 3 minutes, he waxes poetic about his past, his present, and the concept of realness, all while working on his music and eating Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah, little buddy. He's a little bit like me, see? I've changed from Milli Vanilli into the real me.
Variety reports that the script for a Milli Vanilli biopic has been knocking around since 2007, but the project seems to be in production limbo right now. Still, Fab remains hopeful that it'll still see the light of day. He told Variety in 2018, "We made history once, we're ready to do it again." Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more grunge videos about your favorite musicians are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.